So we are at the beginning of week 3, and much like last week, I'm actually putting a little post-it above my face so I don't get distracted by my face and trying to fix my hair or my makeup or anything like that. I also notice that I fidget a lot, so it's one or the other. It's either a lot of ums and me fixing my stuff, or it's some fidgeting. So you're just gonna have to deal with it, I guess. This week, I did a video at the end, sort of the middle of week 2, and that started about the time that I really just wanted to quit. Really felt like I wasn't making any progress, wasn't doing anything right. Can't get the essays done on time, can't get the PTs done on time, on and on. So I have been battling not only the I want to quit syndrome, but also my perfectionism. And so that's probably where I start off in week 3, is very well aware that my perfectionism is having probably a bigger impact on how I'm feeling, how I'm preparing, what I'm doing to prepare, and what is going to ultimately inhibit my success on the bar exam. Perfectionism is not a bad quality in an attorney. In fact, I've had, one of the reasons I don't ever want to do trial practice ever again is I had a judge chew me out for 2 typos that were in a brief that I sent him. And so perfectionism is actually, for the most part, demanded and rewarded in the practice of law. On the bar exam, though, it is not helpful. Perfectionism, especially for me, can lead me to inhibiting my normal flow. And when I am worried about something being perfect, something being good enough, any of those types of thoughts, I hold back and I have a lot of indecision and I have a lot of problems figuring out what to do next. That is the source of a lot of my problems on the performance test and on the essays. And especially the performance test, because of the fact that I have not worked with a legal memo, a brief, cases, book briefing a case in years. It's been at least 6 to 9 years, not 69, 6 to 9 years since I've actually had to work with any of those types of documents or draft anything like that. So when I find that I'm getting caught up really reading the cases, wanting to get every last chunk of information out of those cases instead of really just kind of summarizing in 1 sentence or less what that case was about and what I really need to refer to that case for. And if I need to do a separate video just on the PTs, let me know so that you understand what I'm talking about. When I've practiced the PTs, and I've done 3 of them so far, I'll set the timer for 90 minutes. I will sort of delineate out, where I want to be by certain times. So in the first 15 minutes, I want to have the task memo read and understood, and a draft format already started. By the next 15 minutes, I want to have the library read. By the next 15 minutes, I want to have the file read. And then I reserve maybe another 5 minutes, if that, to outline the different questions that I have to answer for the PT. I am finding that I get to the 90 minutes and I'm almost done. I have everything but maybe 2 paragraphs and a conclusion. So then I will go ahead and reset the timer and actually just have it kind of be a stopwatch and time how long it takes for me to feel like I have adequately answered all the questions. And I've been doing that on the essays as well, and I find that I'm between 8 and 10 minutes over time to feel like I have truly completed the assignment, answered the questions, whatnot. So the perfectionist in me, when I see not only that 10-minute period, over time, starts freaking out and panicking over, oh my God, I'm never going to finish the bar exam. I'm going to end up having all these questions that I haven't answered. And I need to temper that with, while a question can be, let's say an essay question, might have 12 points. that you can get. They also compare your score is sort of lumped in with all of the others, all the other people who are taking the exam on the same day, and what their average is. So if out of a 12-point question, the average is 5 points, and I nail 7 of those points, oh my God, I've done better than everybody else on the exam. Not everybody else, but the vast majority of people on the exam. And so maybe it was a really difficult exam with a lot of points a lot of nuanced points that people weren't getting, or a lot of maybe obvious points. Maybe people just weren't putting conclusions, and I did, and that was awesome. So I need to figure out how to pull that 10 minutes into usable time, the usable 90 minutes for the PT, or the usable 30 minutes for the essay, so that I do get the low-hanging fruit points. The things that, just kind of accumulate because they're so easy. If I just put all 6 of the elements down, then maybe I've gotten a point that I wouldn't have gotten if I had only focused on 2 of the elements. So that's something I need to temper it with. I also need to temper it with the fact that not everyone is going to finish. Not everyone is going to finish the PTs. Not everyone is going to finish the essays. They are not made to be completed in that amount of time. And so a lot of what I'm also being tested on is how I prioritize the issues that I look at. So that's sort of how I'm dealing with my anxiety over the PTs and my anxiety over the essays. And I have a meeting with a professor this week so that we can look at where I have gotten to on those PTs with that extra 10 minutes, and where I can sort of shave off. What are things that are just kind of fluff that I can shave off and get out of there. I also have people this week, I'm going to be sending them to you, talking to these people who are going to be reading my essays just for readability. Am I using complete sentences? Do I make sense? Am I writing for a layperson, or am I writing for someone who has legal expertise? Am I assuming things about my audience? And that, I think, will also help getting that kind of feedback. The other thing I've been trying to do is actually maintain balance. Balance is very difficult during the bar exam. You're studying 10 to 12 hours a day, and doing things like going out to dinner with friends, or going out to coffee with somebody, or taking a business meeting are probably very difficult. Yeah, it's not even in the realm of things that you really want to balance, but these are things that I do want to balance. And I understand fully why they tell you not to work during the bar exam, and actually fully support that notion. I know that there are some people like me who really can't afford not to be working. Fortunately, I am self-employed, so that's all within my control as to whether I work or not. I did find this week I did have a mediation that canceled on me, and so that actually requires a lot of paperwork on my part. Paperwork that I felt like I really didn't have time to complete. And I have all these other things going on, and I have this PT that needs to be turned in, and this essay that needs to be turned in, and I'm behind on my multiple choice work, and I have to spend an hour summarizing why this person canceled. So that was really difficult to try and balance work with the bar exam, because bar exam for the most part is work right now, and maybe after this is done, the habits that I have formed in studying will actually translate into my work, and I'll be working that much, I would hope, after the bar exam is over, at least on my primary job. But at the same time, one of the things that I really want to keep in my life is a sense of balance and a sense of fun. And I know fun is not what you think of when you think of the bar exam, but I have made a commitment to meeting up with a couple of friends this week. One of them is a professional colleague who I haven't seen in a really long time. Another is someone that I went to law school with, who successfully appealed her bar exam results and was sworn in the year that we all took the bar exam together. And meeting with these people, getting a little bit of perspective on the fact that my life does not revolve around the bar exam. It does for these 2 months. For this 6 to 8 week period, yeah, my life is the bar exam. But meeting up with a couple of friends this week, people who I know outside of the bar exam, who know me and know what my passion is and know where I want to be of service, is also going to be just as valuable for me as studying. And it will remind me that there is a bigger world out there that is not just law, that is not just elements of a prima facie case, that involve real people with real problems and real conflicts and real ideas and real passions. And they will hopefully likewise remind me of mine. I'm also, this week in Colorado is Pride, this weekend, so I hope to partake in a couple of the Pride events that are happening. It's a community that I really enjoy and love, and I want to be there in support of all the Pride events. And I won't be able to attend all the Pride events, but I'm going to something on Friday night, and hopefully might be going to the parade. And also going to be taking my son to the Renaissance Festival this week more than any week, probably because it's Father's Day weekend and everything else has a lot more of what I think I'm seeking in terms of the balance. There's a lot of time also that I'm going to be using to get caught up on work that I feel like I really need to complete for myself to feel prepared. I haven't read trusts yet. Trusts are not something I understand very well. It is not a second language to me, so I'm trying to at least be proficient enough in trust to at least sound like I know what I'm talking about. And I've also taken some time to sit down with my old bar exam and the questions and see if I can quickly identify what the issues are, outline them, and write perhaps a better answer than I did in 2003. So that's going to be part of my practice criteria, my practice routine as well. There's a lot of breathing involved in this, and a lot of breathing that I'm not doing. I find that I'm holding my breath quite a bit when I am taking questions and doing these things, and I need to remember that breathing is actually going to be very supportive of the thinking process and doesn't take more time than it does to sit there in my fog of indecision, and may actually help all my indecision. So breathing, balance, perfectionism, those are the themes of the week. Performance tests, hopefully I will get some really good feedback, really helpful feedback. I mean, it'd be great if I nailed a lot of the elements, but I'm just looking for good feedback on what is helpful to me and what's not helpful to me in terms of how I'm writing them out. So those are the themes of the week here at the beginning of week 3.